it up and do the Mike Gesicki gritty, but it was a lot of grittying going on down in New Orleans, maybe from Philadelphia all the way down to New Orleans. Because Joe, we asked the question, what can we learn? I knew you was looking. I know you looking for Mark. Mark gonna show up soon, but we asked what could we learn from this game, and we both took notes. We both had questions about what this team was going to do or which player was going to show up, and it literally took the fourth quarter for some of these teams to say, "Hey, we want to actually win this game." Saquon Barkley with two fourth quarter touchdowns lift the Eagles over the Saints in a defensive battle. Imagine that, talking about defense after a team that dropped 91 points on two other teams, 15-12. What did the Eagles prove with this win, Joe?
They proved two things. Number one, Derek Carr, if you pressure him, he's a different quarterback. Let me just say that. Right? Derek Carr, he's been the least pressured QB this year so far. Remember, we recapped the Cowboys game. I'm like, Derek Carr got all the time in the world to get this play to develop. Because we all know Clint Kubiak from the Kyle Shanahan tree, they know how to draw some good stuff up. But the big stuff, like the Shaheed bomb and stuff like that, that needs time to develop. And Derek Carr had time in the pocket to do all that stuff. Against Philly, they were pressuring this dude like crazy. They weren't just rushing with four. They were blitzing also. So I got to give Philly credit for that. And another stat I want to give y'all. Philly, they've been sloppy all year defensively, right? The first two games, Philly had 25 missed tackles. Yesterday, they had three missed tackles. All right? So that just shows you they were way more locked in that game. I got to give a shout out to Fangio for that one, you know. And the second thing Philly proved was they are a juggernaut. I'm sorry. They have a really good roster. The defense, I feel like they have a good roster, but it didn't show the first week. Second week, you kind of saw a glimpse of it. And then yesterday, you really saw the D-line that they put, that I told AJ on Tuesday, that they put emphasis on. They drafted in, show up yesterday. And on top of that, having Saquon Barkley, Dallas, look, AJ Brown goes down. Okay, cool. Devontae Smith goes down. Okay, cool. And who shows up? Dallas Goedert, one of the best tight ends in the league. One of the best, like 170 yards from a tight end. Jalen Hurts was bad. It's called how you see it. Bad. 2 turnovers. Even the pass to Goddard was a bad pass. Goddard made that catch. So he was bad. And Saquon Barkley. What did I say? Me and Dave had a little debate about Saquon, C-Mac. You know, C-Mac is good. Ooh, you know, I said Saquon is good. I said, we're going to see what Saquon does with the Eagles. Saquon is top 2 in touchdowns, yards from scrimmage, and I think rushing yards. So Saquon is the game changer. They don't win none of these games without Saquon Barkley. So it just shows you that Philly can win while playing bad. Because Sirianni made some bad calls too, and they still found a way to win the game. So that's what they proved.
Dave, I know you got a lot to say about Saquon. I just got two things. They win game one without Saquon. Now, in the last two games, I give you that because AJ Brown wasn't there. Their offense may be different if Saquon isn't there. They're going to look for AJ a little bit more, but I just want to throw that in. And the head coach calling the plays? Go ahead, Dave.
I gotta disagree with that sentiment about without Saquon, they would have won game one. And he had 3 touchdowns in the game one, so he's the reason why they won that game.
Yeah, he was though.
And he's definitely the reason why they won that game. Yesterday.
Hurts turned the ball over that game too.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, Joe pretty much said what I was going to say. The defense is the reason why. The defense definitely showed up. I think that's something that we questioned after week one, but we saw glimpses of it in the next week, even though they lost that game. But they stepped up. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis made plays early in the game and late in the game. You had Quinyon Mitchell had a really good game as well, along with Slay. This defense made plays, and then you had I think it was Blankenship that had the interception that Derek Carr had threw it in that pretty much sealed the deal in the game. So this defense definitely showed up. I think that's one thing that we were looking at. We wanted to see what their defense was going to do. They made definitely some key stops on 3rd and 4th down as well. This Eagles team is legit. I mean, I didn't think that they were not legit, but they're legit. You know, even without AJ Brown, like Devontae Smith went down with a crazy tackle, and I blame that on the refs. The refs definitely should have blew that whistle a long time ago, and then he just he got hurt. It wasn't a dirty hit at all. It was a football play. It's just that they continued to let the play go on.
Lane Johnson got hurt too. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, Lane Johnson got hurt, so that the offensive line started to look shaky after a while. They allowed a little bit more sacks than normal. Hurst was pressured. He threw that pick in the end zone. Then he fumbled the ball as well. This defense stepped up when they needed to because the offense wasn't necessarily there until Saquon broke that 65-yard touchdown, and then he had another touchdown that sealed the deal along with the 2-point conversion. So Saquon was the MVP, but if you want to say co-MVP, it's that defense.
Saquon. Go ahead, Joe.
I think Dallas Goedert was MVP. But go ahead. Saquon had the touchdown, but Dallas Goedert kept them in the game the whole game.
Now, that was one of my questions last week. I was like, as far as play calling, I was like, are they going to be able to get him involved? Are they going to get him involved in the game? And they said, oh, we heard you. It sounded like they heard the episode, Joe, because it was like, oh, you think we can't throw to the tight end? Check. Oh, you think we can't slow down that offense? Check. You think we can't get to the quarterback? Check, check. You think our secondary ain't going to be able to keep up? Check again. So I guess they was like, hey, you Cowboy fan, we're going to prove you wrong. Except for that one call, but I ain't see the call. 4th and 1, right? But my question now is, what did the Eagles prove? That they can bounce back after a loss. That's what they proved, that they actually have the weapons over there. I said it when Mark was on here. I don't think they were overrated. I think they are the team that the GM put on the field. But what it did prove is we need to worry about their quarterback. Now, a lot of people going to sit up and like, Tom, what you mean? Maybe AJ going to check this out. Maybe he's going to say something about it on Phase. Because he did in week 1 about it on Unfazed, or maybe that was week 2, but Unfazed Tuesdays at 9. It was week 1, and he was saying he was sitting with a friend, and they were like, "Man, maybe this is just who Jalen Hurts is." Turnovers. So 2020, he only had 6 turnovers. Now a lot of people say he may have not started all of the games, so Tom, this is why he only had 6. 2021, he had 11. Team wasn't that bad, right? 2022, it dropped to 8 once the team got better. 2023. He had 20 turnovers. 2024, he already got 6. And it's not looking friendly. The last one, when he was running, where he fumbled the ball, and then some of these interceptions are just like, Jalen, what are you looking at? So what it proved to me is that they have a good defense. They did the right thing by bringing Saquon in. The offense is clicking. They actually are finding all of the weapons, even when AJ wasn't there. Devontae's, you got Smitty, you got Dallas Goedert. They was finding rookies. They was just pulling weapons all over the field. They was looking like the 49ers in their front. But the quarterback, that's the question now. What is he going to do as the weeks progress? Because these turnovers are going to hurt him at some point. Now, the running back there is saving them, but we got to check out the quarterback.
Facts.
Hurts got to keep control of the ball, man. He can't keep turning the ball over. It's going to hurt this team sooner than later.
Man.
Yeah. The Saints should kick that field goal, man. Your defense holding it down. Kick the field goal. Take the point.
Oh, when they was at the 40?
Yeah, they went for it. You like y'all having a tough time running the ball on Philly. You're having a tough time. Your defense holding y'all down. Just take the points.
Yeah, you got to. You got to.
Come on, man.
Trust me, I know all about that. Now,